Hi, I'm David MacDonald, and I'm a Group Vice President at Environics Research, where I lead market research studies for clients in the financial services, automotive, and other sectors. We at Environics were early investors in Nexalogy, and so we were able to work with Nexalogy both to help develop and provide input on the design of the tools and use them in the research that we do. It was early days for social media research when we started getting involved, and it really opened our eyes how social media analytics and investigation can better our understanding of the research projects we were doing for our clients. Some examples might be, before we design a survey, we would do some social media investigation to find out what are the key issues or ideas or topics on people's minds to make sure that we were designing the best survey instrument. And then maybe at the back end, if we saw some interesting findings, we could look back to see whether they could be validated in social media. But our biggest opportunity came around 2011 when a major global auto company was looking for an independent social media auditor. They had a social media agency that was developing content to help promote the brand in social media, but wanted a separate auditing group to make sure that those teams were being held accountable. And the Nexalogy tools were instrumental in helping us identify conversations that were in Canada, clean out the content, and look at what was being said about the company, its brands, its products, and both within its own controlled community and the broader social media community beyond. So it was very much an opportunity to really demonstrate the efficacy of social media marketing. You may be aware that if you work with Google, they both provide you the content and the sites to buy, and then say they'll provide analytics. Well, it's kind of the fox guarding the hen house. Typically, you want an independent auditing function, and that's what Nexalogy allowed us to do. Some of the most useful tools that we were able to access through Nexalogy were the access to the Twitter feeds through NIP and through other sources that allowed us to take a large batch of data, take out extraneous content that didn't fit our search criteria, and specifically Canadianize it. Because we were working for a global auto company, they wanted us to make sure that we're only looking at Canadian content, both in French and English, and from people both in the country or from around the world who were connected to the Canadian marketplace. And those were tools you simply just couldn't get from other providers, or not as easily. And the Canadianization, of course, is really critical in that. Other tools that we used were the lexical maps, and working with Zach himself, we tried to pilot another study where we worked with the lexical maps to help identify many of the different conversations and themes. This is an example that relates to conversations around mutual fund fee disclosure. I mentioned I do a lot of work in the investment industry, and in the run-up to CRM2 disclosure, there was a lot of concern about what impact fee disclosure would have on investors, on advisors, and their practices. And we did some early investigation, and the maps helped us refine, identify what were the keyword terms we should be using, who should we be targeting, where were the conversations being had, and then we aligned that with the time maps to find out when were major announcements happening and what were the contexts around that. So the feeds, the lexical maps, and the timelines were very powerful inputs to help us identify key opportunities for clients and make recommendations to them.